Shark versus Gorilla Grodd? Are you kidding me?
Welcome, Flash.
How's it going, speedsters? Welcome to a brand new Flash Season 5 Episode 15 trailer breakdown. Now, this is an interesting one. As you just saw from the trailer, we've got King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd. But the reception I'm kind of getting from, just looking around and about online for this episode is some people are excited for it because some people love Gorilla Grodd. Some people have been waiting for the King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd ever since, Nora, I believe, dropped it earlier on in the season. It was in the first few episodes or something like that. But either way, it's been spoken about by like the showrunners earlier on, and now it's finally here. But I think people are just thinking after the recent kind of kerfuffle with Cicada getting away, plot holes here and there, and this is going to be more budget spent on something we don't necessarily want, and more filler or just fan service or whatever. The way I look at it is that, I'm looking forward to it, I suppose. It's not something I massively personally look forward to. I think it will be cool. I definitely think it will kind of be filler. Hopefully they'll chuck in some kind of scene after the Flash kind of post-credity bit where, you have the title screen. Or maybe there'll be another Sherlock development in the episode. But overall, yeah, I think they do spend a lot of the budget on like an episode like this. And I think that's where maybe people are getting a bit salty when they just want things to move along now. They want the Cicada to get wrapped up. They want the Reverse Flash thing or Nora like secret to get goddamn revealed. And I think maybe if they're wise, they really might poke a major hole in that towards the end of this episode with Nora's secret getting exposed at the very least. So that will give us at least some kind of excitement for the next episode after that, because things really do need to start cooking now. We're on episode 15, and things are kind of, up in the air in several different ways, whether you're a fan of Cicada or not, the plot holes with him flying away all the time or whatever. But yeah, let's break down this trailer and what we can kind of make out from it, because yet again, just like Arrow yesterday, as of the time when I'm making this video, there is no synopsis, no promo photos, and also the Flash is on the break for till March 5th, I believe, just like Arrow is on break as well. So yeah, unfortunately, you have a little bit of a wait until we see the Flash again. So either way, I think what begs the question, and this is why I wish I kind of had the synopsis, is how does Gorilla Grodd escape, first of all, and King Shark? I'm guessing this is where it kind of gets a bit tricky in my mind, keeping track of all of it. Gorilla Grodd has been on Legends of Tomorrow and other shows and stuff like that, but technically, if I remember correctly, that's like future Gorilla Grodd or like past Gorilla Grodd, like what happened with him in terms of what they did with him. Where is he like right now? If somebody can correct me in the comments down below or remind me of something about that, that'd be great. Because right now it's just kind of like, they're going to go against each other, and Aris is like in this trailer, Gorilla Grodd versus King Shark? No way. It's just like, okay, but how do they get out? I mean, in this shot right here, I'm guessing Barry and Cisco have kind of heard about it, and I'm guessing this is King Shark kind of sneaking up on them. What I want to say here is as well, Cisco, notice again how he's in the Vibe suit, just making the whole Carlos leaving the Flash thing even weirder potentially. Because what I argue about that, just on a side note, is that he is very much so Vibe. He enjoys being Vibe. I really hope, in terms of him leaving, they don't administer him the metahuman cure. I mean, for crying out loud, in the last episode, he was just like that, about to open a breach, just as casually as anything. He enjoys his powers, so please don't do that. But either way, it's going to be cool to see Cisco out in the Vibe suit again. We very briefly saw that last episode with him getting killed by Cicada in the, the kind of Nora's Flash Time episode. Now, it could just be me, but I swear when we see King Shark approach, like the dock here or something, that it looks like Caitlin's there, Cisco is there. I could be wrong, but that just reminds me of Lila on the right-hand side. I can't make out who that is on the left. It could be, Nora and possibly Sherlock or someone like that. It's really hard to make it out. It could just be citizens, but the more I zoom in, the more I'm looking at these kind of blurry faces. They kind of look familiar. To be honest, it's probably Sherlock Wells in a suit. I don't know. It could be nobody, but the reason why I said Lila in the first place is, for all I know, she could be in this episode. I can't remember the casting, but she's appeared, I think, in previous Gorilla Grodd episodes, not sure. Or maybe it was a King Shark one. Somebody remind me down in the comments below. But anyway, we see Barry in the next shot just like, oh god, not only have we probably got King Shark, maybe he's hearing over the comms here, Gorilla Grodd has escaped and he's coming to Central City as well, so watch out. But yeah, like in terms of like obviously being fan service, how are they going to set these two up in terms of fighting each other? It looks like the whole city is watching, which I kind of really like. Maybe they're broadcasting it, or they're just seeing the city get destroyed. I know some people are kind of like, oh yeah, they're saying it's King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd, but maybe it just might be two of them on the loose at the same time in the city, that, you know, causing trouble in the city. Sure, they might come across each other, might not like each other, might throw a bit of fisticuffs kind of thing. But that doesn't necessarily mean there is any specific kind of reason as to why they're fighting each other. I mean, I would love to know what that is. They've never met before. Why would they fight each other? Maybe it is just something as simple as we see Grodd here on top of the building, and maybe they just want dominance. Maybe they just really want dominance over Central City, and they don't want the other one to have rule over it. So, you know, Gorilla Grodd is like, no, this city's mine, Flash. Either way, with Iris saying King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd, are you kidding me? I bet she's loving that for the Central City citizen. Maybe this is her first news story that might take off in terms of her, you know, paper. Now here, I believe we see Barry and I think that's Nora getting their asses handed to them. It's a very quick shot, so I assume it's either Gorilla Grodd or King Shark. Now you may be wondering, but how is Barry probably gonna, you know, resist the mind control of Gorilla Grodd? Well, we do see in this shot that he has that device similar to what Caitlyn was wearing in terms of communicating with Killer Frost, if you remember. It's something for the mind, and I'm guessing that they're going to use a very similar device that will stop him being telepathically controlled by Gorilla Grodd. But then again, I can imagine it'd be very typical if that just gets damaged as he gets sent flying, and then he'll be subjected to be controlled by Grodd. But at the same time, I don't know if we have time for that in this episode, for like Barry Allen being controlled. I think, you know, he's just going to be wearing it. It probably won't get damaged because I don't know how they're going to come back from that. And, you know, they're just going to fight each other and cause damage. But it's going to be super interesting to see, you know, how the Flash, or just maybe Nora and Barry, and maybe a bit of Vibe, tackle this situation. Normally we have a whole episode with just one of them. How are we going to take down Grodd? But now it's both of them. So I do admit that's a bit cool. But at the same time, I would really love to know if you think that this episode is not necessarily needed, or, you know, you just think it's pure fan service, or you're not really a massive fan of this yourself and you just want them to get on with the Reverse Flash storyline, or Nora storyline, or just the Cicada storyline, and finally putting a nail in the coffin with that. But since it's quite obvious that he's the big bad for this season, they've got to somehow drag him out to the final episodes. Now, before I forget, actually, Jesse L. Martin is returning to the Flash this episode. Obviously, he plays Joe West. Now, if you aren't already aware, or if you've just been wondering, oh yeah, wait, you mentioned that now, he hasn't been in the season that much. And that's because he had a back injury quite a while back. You can only imagine how much of a nightmare they are. They take a long time to recover. I personally have injured my back before, and I remember just like 6 months of pain. Whenever I went to the cinema, I couldn't even sit in the seat comfortably. You can only imagine what back injury he might have suffered on set. Being an actor, like moving about like Joe West does, it's not like he always has a standing role at that. He does run around with his gun out kind of thing. You know, he would be in the forefront of the scenes that we've had in the past half the season. So he would have had to have taken this time off. I'm hoping when he's returning, obviously, that he's obviously returning because he's back in good health. He might not be in massive optimal health. He might just be back to be standing instead of just sitting like he was at the beginning of the season. But either way, I hope that his return means he is returning for good, and that he is better, and that he isn't like another rumored person who might leave the show. Because as we've discussed recently, Carlos Valdez, I believe it was a rumor that we got this covered, reported as, and I made a video on that. You could check that out in the cards above. But I believe Discussing Film reported that he will actually not be returning for The Flash in season 6. That supposedly Cisco is actually leaving the show. So I really hope that other rumors of other people leaving the show, like whether that's Tom Cavanaugh, which I do kind of understand, not that I want it, but, you know, Jesse L. Martin leaving as well. Possibly he might be in the back half of this season, but then he might leave because of his back kind of thing, or whatever. I hope that doesn't happen. As I said, Tom Cavanaugh is a bit more understandable because him as an actor may be recycling so many characters. Personally, I don't care. I love it. But he might be thinking, well, I've been Wells this season, Wells that season, Reverse Flash this season, Reverse Flash that season. Maybe it's getting a bit too much from now. But either way, can't wait to see Jesse L. Martin back. It's been way too long. But other than that, guys, that is the gist of this trailer. I know it wasn't too much to say about the intricacies of it. King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd. Flash is on break. I don't even think, even with a context and stuff, there's going to be too much to say about this episode because it does seem quite fillery. story and fan servicey, whether you're a fan of that or not. Yeah, we've got like quite a while to wait until it comes back, unfortunately, for this episode. But, you know, let me know if you're excited for it down in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed with the most recent episodes. By the way, you can check out my review in the cards above. If you missed it, definitely go check it out. I had quite a few things to say about Cause and Excess. Like this video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you're brand new, especially if you got this far in the video. And links, as always, are in the description down below. Join my Discord server if you want to talk with me directly there. Links to my Twitter and other social media are there. But that is everything, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you speedsters in the next video. Goodbye.